Dreamworks, one of the biggest animation studios of all time, known for creating films like Shrek and Despicable Me. We're going to go through this Dreamworks Iceberg, which contains facts and theories about some of your favorite childhood films. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The memes of the Shrek franchise is an iconic element in the Dreamworks comedy. Shrek is love, Shrek is life is a famous meme that became a meme itself from a disturbing fan fiction story. Another meme is Somebody Once Told Me. This line is the opening of Smash Mouth's song All Star, which was featured prominently in the first Shrek film. Trolls 2 digital release. Trolls World Tour, the sequel to the first film Trolls, was released digitally on April 10th, 2020. Due to COVID-19, it bypassed its theatrical release and went straight to digital platforms for rental and purchase. The decision to release the film digitally sparked discussions about the future of movie distribution and the relationship between studios and theaters. Despite the unconventional release, Trolls World Tour was successful and generated over 100 million in digital rental sales within its first 3 weeks of release in the United States. Upcoming film. Halfway through 2024 and Dreamworks Studio have already released plenty of films, but there are some upcoming films that might be released in 2024 or even 2025. According to stars Alec Baldwin and Amy Sedaris in a 2023 Dreamworks Q&A, an untitled third Boss Baby movie is in development at Dreamworks. Director Tom McGraw revealed that a fourth Madagascar movie has been in development at Dreamworks since 2017, while further details are unknown. It's worth noting that McGraw directed the previous Boss Baby films. Moving on to Layer 2. Dreamworks is owned by Universal. Before being owned by NBC Universal, Dreamworks had different distribution partnerships over the years. Dreamworks Pictures handled the distribution from 1998 to 2005. Then Paramount Pictures took over from 2006 to 2012, followed by the 20th Century Fox from 2013 to 2018. Since 2019, Universal Pictures has been distributing Dreamworks Animation's films. While there were discussions with Columbia Pictures in 2013, the partnership didn't materialize and Dreamworks Animation ultimately went with the 20th Century Fox. However, Dreamworks Animation has been acquired by Universal since 2016. Universal has produced franchises like Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious, and is one of the biggest film productions in the world. Disney and Pixar rivalry. Dreamworks and Illumination have surpassed Disney and Pixar in terms of box office success over the past decade, with films like Puss in Boots and the Super Mario Bros. Disney and Pixar have struggled to achieve high box office numbers recently, with flops from Pixar and disappointing returns from Disney's other releases. Their reliance on Frozen and Toy Story sequels and lack of other popular series is notable. Dreamworks and Illumination have done a better job at keeping up with the original franchises, producing successful sequels and spin-offs that maintain the excitement. A great example is the new Kung Fu Panda movie. We were not prepared for the release, but it was a perfect timing for the revival of the series. This is why Dreamworks is probably one of the biggest animation studios right now, because of their successful sequels and creative spin-offs. Dreamworks Face. The Dreamworks Face has become an iconic symbol in the realm of animated film promotion. It's that unmistakable expression that immediately grabs your attention from posters and billboards, promising a different kind of cinematic experience. While the Dreamworks Face may not always reflect the characters within the film or show, it serves as a powerful marketing tool. Although the face is named after Dreamworks, the facial expression is also used by other media, such as Netflix and Warner Bros. That produce Lego, and has pretty much taken advantage of this face. John Lasseter left Disney. During the rise of Disney and Pixar, Dreamworks SKG was a big competitor against the studio, which was founded by Steven Spielberg, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and David Geffen in 1994. A big dispute occurred over the similar concepts of A Bug's Life by Disney and Antz by Dreamworks, which led to tension between John Lasseter and Jeffrey Katzenberg. Despite this rivalry, Dreamworks found success with Shrek in 2001. Unlike Disney and Pixar's moral-focused narratives, Shrek embrace humor and adult themes while maintaining the heart. Dreamworks Channel is a pay television channel owned and operated by Universal. Dreamworks Animation launched its TV channel in December 2014, initially in Asia. It expanded to over 19 countries by 2015 and partnered with HBO Asia. for Southeast Asia. The channel later launched in the Middle East, North Africa and in some other countries in Europe. The content on the channel mainly consists of production from Dreamworks Animation and Dreamworks Classic, including some of the former content originally produced for Netflix. Going over to layer 3, live action movie. Dreamworks is not only known for their classic animated movies, they have also created a lot of live action films. The most notable, in my opinion, is probably Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. This film was released in 2002 and made by Dreamworks Pictures. They have also created movies such as Gladiator, Saving Private Ryan and Transformers, which are movies that have left a big imprint in the film industry. Antz is a knockoff of Bugs Life. The release of Pixar's A Bug's Life and Dreamworks' Antz began a rivalry between the two studios. Both films featured computer-generated insects and competed for box office success. Behind the scenes, tensions rose as Dreamworks developed Antz to compete with Pixar's project. Dreamworks' Jeffrey Katzenberg aimed to release Antz before A Bug's Life to gain a competitive edge. The rivalry led to accusations of corporate warfare, with John Lasseter, director of A Bug's Life, feeling personally affected. Despite Antz beating A Bug's Life and being released first on the cinema, Bug's Life ultimately outperformed the film, leading to a competitive atmosphere between the two films. Shrek The Musical is a musical based on the first two Shrek movies and the original 90 book, Shrek. The musical premiered on Broadway in 2008 after a successful trial run in Seattle. Despite its high production costs and mixed financial success, it earned several award nominations. Throughout its history, Shrek the Musical has undergone various tours in the US, UK, Brazil, Australia and other countries. Aardman Animations Limited is a well-known British animation studio based in Bristol, England. Famous for its stop-motion and clay animation techniques, it gained popularity through iconic characters like Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep and more. Aardman Animations collaborated with Dreamworks to co-finance and distribute Chicken Run, which was Aardman's first feature film. This partnership, announced in December 1997, marked a significant milestone for Aardman, as it was the first long film they did compared to the TV series they've done before. The success of Chicken Run, released in June 2000, was the beginning for future collaborations between the two studios. Following this, Aardman and Dreamworks signed a deal worth $250 million in October 1999, aiming to produce 4 additional films over the next 12 years. Despite creative differences, this collaboration produced successful films like Flushed Away in 2006, which marked Aardman's first computer animated film. However, in 2006, just before the release of Flushed Away, Aardman and Dreamworks decided not to extend their contract due to different reasons. They officially broke their partnership in January 2007. With the end of the collaboration, Aardman's film, The Croods, which was in development under the partnership, reverted to Dreamworks. Aardman continued to make movies by signing deals with other studios, such as Sony Pictures, who helped them co-produce the movies. Netflix series. Netflix and Dreamworks Animation formed a partnership to produce original animated content for the streaming platform, which began in 2013. Dreamworks Studios has not only released films on Netflix, but also series of some of their well-known franchises. All Hail Kung Julian is a series based on Kung Julian from the Madagascar films. Turbo Fast and Dawn of the Croods are 2 other famous series that was released on Netflix and is based on original films from Dreamworks. Moving on to layer 4. Shrek Best Animated Feature. Shrek won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature at the 2074th Academy Awards held in 2002. This award marked a significant milestone in the history of animated films, because it was the first time the category was introduced. Animated films also competed in general categories like Best Picture, in which Shrek beat other animated movies like Monster Inc. and Jimmy Neutron. It was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Song, but unfortunately didn't win in those categories. The Boy on the Moon. Dreamworks logo, The Boy on the Moon, has a very interesting backstory. In 1994, when Dreamworks SKG was founded, Spielberg, one of the 3 founders, envisioned a logo inspired by Hollywood's golden age. Initially, they planned a computer-generated image of a man on the moon fishing, but visual effects supervisor Dennis Muren suggested a hand-painted logo instead. Artist Robert Hunt painted the logo and proposed an alternate version featuring a young boy on a crescent moon fishing. Spielberg preferred this version, which turned out to be a portrait of Hunt's son, William, which became the iconic symbol for Dreamworks. Pearl Animation Studios. Pearl Studio, formerly formerly known as Oriental Dreamworks, is a Chinese animation film production company. The company was founded by Dreamworks Animation and Chinese investment companies. In 2008, Universal sold a stake in Oriental Dreamworks to China Media Capital, a Chinese investment firm, which led to the change of the company. Dreamworks Animation and Oriental Dreamworks produced Kung Fu Panda 3 in 2016. Another significant release that showcased the collaboration between the two studios was Abominable in 2019, produced by Dreamworks Animation and Pearl Studio. Abominable marked Pearl Studio's first major release after rebranding. The collaboration between the two companies allowed Dreamworks Animation to expand its presence to the Chinese market. Next up, Layer 5. The Dreamworks Theory is a fan theory that places all Dreamworks films in the same timeline, starting off with Stage 1, The Croods. This stage sets the foundation of the Dreamworks universe, depicting the early days of human existence and discovery, which were likely based in Africa due to the diverse terrain in the film. Stage 2 is about the evolution of humans and the introduction of magic, which includes films like How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek and Kung Fu Panda. The theory suggests that these films exist within the similar time frames, with the presence of magic and creatures like trolls and dragons. Stage 3 is about technical advancement, which are Sinbad and Road to El Dorado. In Stage 4, as humans become more aware of magic and view it as a threat, magical creatures begin to hide or face extinction. The Rise of the Guardians aims to protect the magic by preserving it for children. The 5th stage is about the arrival of aliens. This includes Monster vs. Aliens and Megamind that dominate while magic becomes less visible for the public. The Rise of Animals Evolved Intelligence is on the 6th stage. Movies like B-Movie and Madagascar are on this stage, which showcase the progression of animal intelligence and their involvement in the human world. Then we have the Rise of Magic again on the 7th stage, which is more focused on time traveling, like Sherman and Captain Underpants. The newest addition to Dreamworks universe is Abominable, which is providing evidence of the continental magic in Asia. Trolls 2 is a metaphor for racism. Trolls World Tour follows Queen Poppy and Branch as they discover that the world of trolls is much bigger than they previously thought. They learn that there are other troll tribes, each dedicated to a different genre of music. Queen Barb, the leader of the rock trolls, plans to destroy all other genres. Poppy and Branch goes on a mission to save the diversity of troll music. The rock trolls are hostile towards the outsiders, and the trolls is categorized in different groups, which reflects the different types of groups in the real world and the common expectations and norms in society. This is a metaphor for racism and the discrimination seen in the real world. Tim imagines Boss Baby. A theory suggests that the entire movie is just an imagination of Tim's mind, which is driven by jealousy towards his younger sibling, the Boss Baby. At the beginning of the movie, Tim is shown to have an active imagination where he can envision fantastical scenarios like riding a rocket to another planet. Boss Baby's abilities and job are believed to just be a part of Tim's imagination. Tim may be inventing the scenario because he feels jealous of the attention his parents are giving to the Boss Baby. By imagining the Boss Baby as a talking businessman, Tim could be trying to regain attention and importance in his family. Next up, Layer 6. Chris Farley was the original choice to voice Shrek in the first film. He had recorded 80 to 90% of the dialogue, but died in 1997. Farley was just 33 years old. The cause of his death was determined to be a drug overdose, as he struggled with substance abuse throughout his life. After Farley's death, he was replaced by Mike Myers to provide the voice of Shrek for the film. Abominable is Chinese propaganda. Abominable is made by Dreamworks and the Chinese company Pearl Studio. In the film, a scene shows a map of China featuring the controversial 9-dash line in the South China Sea. This line is a territorial claim by China that encompasses much of the region, including areas by neighboring countries like the Philippines and Vietnam. These disputes aren't just about historical claim, but also economic rights, as the South China Sea holds significant resources and crucial trade routes. This propaganda has made many fans concerned about the future of Dreamworks. Southeast Asia countries have asked for the removal of the scene, but Dreamworks refused, leading to boycotts in those countries. Shrek 5. Shrek 5's development was confirmed by Chris Meledandri with the announcement made during an interview with Variety. Meledandri also hinted at the potential for spin-offs, including a movie about Donkey. Mike Myers has expressed enthusiasm for returning to voice Shrek, indicating he's willing to return for the franchise if possible. Cameron Diaz's return as Fiona was initially uncertain due to her retirement from acting, but a recent return to the big screen has opened up the possibilities of her replaying her role. Although it's not confirmed yet, it's speculated that the storyline could revolve around their children, with Shrek and Fiona's kids potentially taking the role as main characters. Layer 7. Kung Fu Panda is based off a video game. The first Kung Fu Panda game was released on June 30th, 2008, nearly a week before the actual film. Both projects were developed at the same time, so the game could capitalize on the film's success. Kung Fu Panda was actually based on the 1999 Dreamworks developed game Tai Fu, Wrath of the Tiger for the PS1. It starred a voice actor for Bender from Futurama and was written by the same team who later made Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda video game was developed by Luxoflux and published by Activision. The game's storyline was a complete copy of the film, and it was released on pretty much all platforms, including the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Dreamworks almost went bankrupt. The failure of Sinbad in 2003 made the studio decide to move away from traditional animation, nearly leading to bankruptcy. The film had a high production budget, with stars like Brad Pitt voicing Sinbad. The film received mixed reviews and grossed only $80.8 million globally against a $60 million production budget, leading to a substantial loss for Dreamworks. According to a 2005 report from the Los Angeles Times, Dreamworks suffered a loss of $125 million on Sinbad, which led them to nearly bankruptcy. Jeffrey Katzenberg suggested that the failure of Sinbad was partly due to its traditional 2D animation style, implying that the audience were more interested in 3D animated films. Will Ferrell plays Megamind. Will Ferrell, famous for his role as Lord Business in the Lego film and Buddy in The Elf, also plays the voice for Megamind. Originally, it was suggested that Ben Stiller would be cast as Megamind for the animated film. Later there was talks of Robert Downey Jr. taking on the role. However, due to scheduling conflicts, Will Ferrell was ultimately given the role. Ben Stiller ended up taking on a minor role as the curator named Bernard instead, and Brad Pitt was also in the film, voicing Metro Man. That was it for the Iceberg. This was a brief iceberg about Dreamworks. Comment what I missed, and I hope you enjoyed.